because of that training. What is more, you were dealing with a white minority where the environment at school is exactly the same as the environment at home. Because you have parents who had a high level of academic qualification, and the child, when he or she comes back home, is able to get a professional assistance from a parents in an environment of relaxation, knowing that I have got parents who love me. They ate well. They had ample accommodation where the child has a room and facilities for studying and concentration. But what is the position with the blacks in this country, with Africans, coloreds, and Indians? In most cases, they were excluded from schools. To say even less of tertiary education, because you did not have the facilities. You could not go to the best schools in the country, which are well equipped to enable you to grasp sophisticated concepts fully. And the environment between the school and the home was totally different. You come to parents, some of whom have never seen the inside of a school. Housing facilities where about 5 children share one room, sleeping on the floor, where children have to study on the floor with candlelight, as somebody has said here. Notwithstanding that difference, nevertheless, the media, analysts, judge us more severely than they judge the apartheid regime. Our people went into exile in order to mobilize the international community to isolate South Africa, to make it a polecat of the world. Others went in and out of jail, operated underground, like the present Minister of Finance. Still others served long terms in jail. Suddenly, you found on the 27th of April 1994 that we were now entrusted with the task of running an advanced country with modern ports and harbors, with a sophisticated banking and insurance system, with improved communications, either by road, by air, and so on. We were taken literally from the bush in order to run this country. And yet we have delivered services which no government in the country has done. We ought to be complimented with that. Naturally, we have made many mistakes, some of them fundamental. Then we have shown weaknesses because we came to government determined to clean it of corruption. And yet we found that our own members, some of them who held a leading position in the liberation movement, themselves became corrupt, and in some cases even more corrupt than the civil service of the apartheid regime. That was a great disappointment, still is to us, because We believe in clean government. But the difference between the apartheid regime and ourselves is that we have set up a commission under a senior judge to investigate corruption in government. And we have arrested a lot of people, some of them highly placed, and exposed them because we have given instructions that anybody who is corrupt must be arrested, and if there is evidence, he must be convicted, even if he belongs to the African National Congress. We must compliment Judge Heath for having investigated no less than 90,000 and for having recovered more than 10 billion rand, which were embezzled by state employees. That is our position, transparency even about weaknesses amongst ourselves. But what I want to say to you is that nevertheless, South Africa occupies a special place in the hearts of the international community. What you have done collectively has been hailed as the miracle of the world. We know who brought about these changes. It was the liberation movement. It was AZAPO. It was the PAC. It was the African National Congress. But we could not have made this peaceful transformation without the cooperation of other sections of the population, especially whites. If we had not done that, if we had not asked for their cooperation, there would have been rivers of blood flowing across this country. But we were able to go to the government as the African National Congress and said, let us sit down and sort out our problems. We have brought about this miracle. When you go to the world, you need just to say, I am a South African, whether you are black or white, and the doors of the world become wide open to you. That is the reality. I want you to understand that. The leaders of this country, when they go abroad, are fitted right and left. They are given rare honors, some of which have been given only to 2 people in history. That is not a compliment just to individuals. It's a compliment to the entire South Africa, black and white, because we have been able to confound the prophets of doom and had a peaceful transformation where everybody predicted that there will be violence which will last for years, if not centuries. And we're honored by the world because of that. I want you to keep that in mind, to respond to the call for unity and for reconciliation, and not to behave in a way which let down those who trust us inside and outside the country. You have become an example, a shining beacon to the entire world. Some of our people here are aware of this. Business, for example. Ever since I came out of jail in 1990, I've gone around the country, the private sector, to say to them, our people in the countryside lack facilities. I want you to help to build clinics and schools. The response has made me to say I was born and brought up in South Africa, but I certainly did not know my country well. I never knew that white business would respond so positively, where everyone is prepared now to share his resources with those who are disadvantaged. This year alone, I have taken out no less than 30 different business people to the countryside, each one to build a clinic and a school. And I've made it clear that I don't just want walls and roofs. I want a clinic which is equipped with modern facilities which can link up with medical institutions throughout the country. I want schools which are properly equipped so that our children should be able to grasp these sophisticated concepts. I am 81, but I don't know what internet means. I can see people pressing a button. What happens after that, I do not know. Now we want to change that situation. And the response of business is marvelous. And this project, the first one to respond